Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Cuz You Don't Know Football. Guys, we got week 1 in the books. Listen, it was an amazing week 1. I'm really excited about what happened. We're gonna get into all of that. We got my boy Nick coming through, and it's about to go down. Week 1 style, NFL. We in there. Boom.
It was
In
definitely
there. What's going on, yo? Technical difficulties. We ain't got none.
up,
Yo, man,
man. How
welcome
you
back,
doing?
man. It's been too long, man. You still dealing
Oh,
with behavior and stuff like that?
yep. Day in and day out.
you, you would know all about bad behavior. That's why they give you that, okay? But welcome back. First of all, you was one of the fan favorites from last year, so we had to get you
Oh,
back.
thank Well, I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to show everybody. The last time that I was on,
Hmm.
if you remember, we had made a bet, and I'm not sure that they'll be able to see this, but I'll hold it up to the camera anyway. And it says Tyreek Mobley sent you $20, and the reason for it was because I don't know football. Remember that bet?
Well, first of all, I'm a man of my word. First of all, now
That
it's
bet?
not just me. Now everybody knows I'm a man of my word. First of all, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
You
I'm
paid
not
up.
wrong very often. So hey, you listen, you win some, you lose some. You see,
Hey,
but it's all good.
we can make another one before the night's out.
I should have bet you before the Colts played your Dolphins, but that's
Yeah,
that's here nor there.
let's see you put that one on the list.
Okay, cool, man. Well, listen, man, we got week 1 in the books, man. So let's just go through some games, and then we're gonna get to some topics, and we just gonna figure this thing out. 2025, 2026 style. Okay, week 1, game 1. The Eagles, they played the Cowboys in Philly, in which they won 24-20. Let's look up some player stats real quick. I always do the losing team first. That's how I roll. Dak Prescott, he was 21 of 34, 188 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Javante Williams, he had 15 carries and for 54 yards, but two touchdowns. And CeeDee Lamb had 7 receptions for 110 yards, no touchdowns. Of course, receiving, nothing really worth talking about there. And we'll just move right along. Jalen Hurts had 19. He was 19 to 23 for 152 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He also led them in rushing with 14 carries for 62 yards, with 2 touchdowns. And Saquon Barkley had 18 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. And Jahad Dotson led them in receiving with 3 receptions for 59 yards. So, what the hell happened in this game? Because it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, let's just start off by saying the Lightning changed the pace of this game, right? Second half looked completely different than the first half. I thought both teams came out great, established what they wanted to establish. Eagles, the run game, that was there. Dallas, hey, look, Dak Prescott looked great, right? Dallas surprised, I think, a lot of people week one.
Yes.
A lot of people thought they weren't going to be the team that they showed up to be week one. They looked great. I think they're going to have a pretty successful year if they continue to play the way that they played week one. Um, and let's just say the Eagles, they're turning into a premier organization. You know, I think Howie with the moves he's making as a GM, bringing in Zadarius Smith for a D end, and then now Tank Bigsby as a backup running back. He just knows how to find these players that are going to fit into their system, and the Eagles are going to be a dominant force again this year.
So yeah, I think the Cowboys, man, I think they caught a lot of people off guard. They definitely played a lot better. I think they were maybe a pass rusher away from winning that game. That's here nor there. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of what I think about the Cowboys. I think they're going to be a very good team. They're going to be a very tough out, but I don't think they're going to be too successful this year. What was very surprising to me was the Eagles' defensive line wasn't very dominant. Like the Cowboys' defensive line actually looks more dominant than the Eagles' defensive line. Now I know Carter decided he wanted to spit on people, and he wasn't there, but I just felt I expected more from their defensive line, so I want to see how they work that out throughout the season. But the Cowboys, man, to be honest with you, they got too many players to me that they're names, but their names are bigger than what they are. You know, I think that's the same for Dak Prescott. I think that's the same for CeeDee Lamb too, and he had a pretty good game. I think CeeDee Lamb is a very overrated player, to be honest with you.
Are you kidding me? CD Lamb
Absolutely.
overrated?
And I can prove it to you real quick. So CeeDee Lamb had 7 receptions for 110 yards and no touchdowns. See, and this is the difference between good and great wide receivers. If Justin Jefferson had 7 receptions for 110 yards, how many touchdowns do you think he would have had?
I say one.
You would say one.
Yeah.
Okay. So if
Possibly you have one, maybe two.
okay, so one baby two. So if Jamar Chase had seven, he caught the ball 7 times for over 100 yards. How many touchdowns would he have had?
Jamar Chase,
Jamar
he,
Chase.
he's gonna have two.
Okay. So if I said so, I'm gonna go old school great wide receiver. If Randy Moss had 7 receptions for 110 yards, how many touchdowns do you think that is?
All right, so I get your point here, but
What's
what
hold
do you
on? What's my point? Go tell me what's my
you're
point.
saying that CD Lamb don't score enough touchdowns?
That's what I'm saying. And there's a reason why he don't score enough touchdowns. Because in the red zone, where the rest of those guys that I named, they actually kind of shine, he he's not great there. And there's wide receivers that put up big numbers, but they don't get you the touchdowns. I'll be damned if you let Randy Moss touch the ball 7 times. I'll be damned if you let Terrell Owens touch the ball 7 times. I'll be damned if you let Brandon Marshall touch the ball 7 times. I'll be damned if you let Antonio Brown touch the ball 7 times. For that to happen and there's no touchdowns, that's a CeeDee Lamb game. He's good. I don't think he's that great.
Because not great in the red zone, but what's here's something to look at, and maybe you know this off the top of your head. I don't, but what's the height differential from the three wide receivers that you named compared to CD Lamb?
But I also say Antonio Brown too, just to let you know that. Um
Yeah, well, Antonio Brown was a freak.
Marvin Harrison. There's a difference between good wide receivers and great wide receivers. That's all I'm saying. Touchdowns usually is that barometer depending on how many touches they get. That's all I was saying.
Here's another factor, right? Like until this year, who was another threat in the red zone to help complement CD Lamb? Now they got another big wide receiver on the opposite end of him who's going to get those red zone targets, which could possibly free up CD Lamb to have more opportunities to score touchdowns in the red zone.
Who
Who do
was
you
it?
have
So
before
they
that?
didn't really have a number two wide receiver. I'll tell you that. But now they have George Pickens. So
Correct.
but they did not have a very good number two wide receiver to be honest with you. But that's just my thoughts. Keep that in the back of your mind as we go through this season. Keep that in the
I
back of
think
your mind when I
I
say
think I think George Pickens will free him up to have more touchdowns this year.
I sincerely hope you're right. I think he's going to keep having 7 receptions for 100. He might have 150 yards. It's still going to be like one touchdown.
Yeah, that's
I'm just letting you know. Okay, so in Brazil, the Kansas City Chiefs lost to the LA Chargers. So once again, I always do the losing team first. So Patrick Mahomes, which this feels weird. So Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, he was 24 of 39 for 258 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 picks. He also led them in rushing with 6 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco from Violin, you know he's from Violin, right?
hmm I do.
He had five. He had 5 carries for 25 yards. I just want to throw out Violin, give a little Jersey shout out. And Hollywood Brown, he led them with 10 receptions for 99 yards, no touchdowns. But Travis Kelsey had 2 receptions for 47 yards and a tutty. Justin Herbert, he was 25 of 34, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. I say that guy's name. Amarion Hampton, he led them in rushing with 15 carries for 48 yards, the rookie. And Quentin Johnson led them with 5 receptions for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Keenan Allen also had 7 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. Dissect this game for me, sir, because I got some thoughts on this.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'd also like to hear your thoughts on the halftime show.
With Carol G, you know,
Yeah, what do you think of that halftime show?
I wasn't prepared for that. That wasn't in the notes. it was a Carol G is a very good looking woman. I'm gonna keep this PG. I enjoyed watching what was going on the screen.
Keep my thoughts to myself. I'm a married man. And it's looking to I think this game was won by the play of Justin Herbert, man. I thought he looked great. He's got some weapons now, he's got I think the offense is going to move with him, and he played well enough to win the game. Chiefs, I think this is like typical Chiefs, right? They come out, maybe they leaned on the passing game a little too much. They lost Xavier Worthy early. I thought maybe they should have got Pacheco going a little bit more.
Mhm.
That's just my thoughts. Maybe they're still waiting, slowly trying to get him back into the speed of things. But yeah, I thought they relied on the pass a little too much. But this is typical Chiefs, right? You come out, lose game one, and as the season goes on, they find a way to win games. Last year, they found a way to win a lot of close games.
Mhm.
That could come to bite them back in the ass this year. We'll see. But it's Patrick Mahomes. He'll find a way to win. I'm sure. Um, yeah, I thought they played well. The Chargers, and that's the reason why they won that game. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to give a round of applause for Justin Herbert because it's usually games like this where he'll put up all these stats, but he always came up a little bit short. So it's great to see somebody with all this hype and you know what I mean, with all of the stats that he's put up to close out a game, because a lot of guys put up numbers, but closing an NFL game, especially from the quarterback position, is something that I don't know how, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain how hard that is, but it's probably the toughest thing to do. So I want to give him props on that because I've been very hard on Justin Herbert because I think I literally said I thought that he was the most overrated player in the NFL last year. So with that said, the Chiefs, I feel like the Chargers won this game, but the Chiefs, they look like the same problems that were happening last year are the same problems that were happening this year. And that frightens the hell out of me in terms of the Chiefs. They it looks like the offense is hard to, you know what I mean, move the ball. It's hard to figure out points, and they figure it out along the way. There were a couple big plays here and there, a drive here and there, but it always looks like a struggle. And that's fearful because usually in the NFL, when things kind of stay the same for a team, they usually take steps back. Actually, I don't have them even winning their division this year for this reason, and I was like, I don't think they got any better. I'm actually tired of acting like this Chiefs roster as a whole is a good roster. It was Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce at one point in time, but Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie. And everybody else is pretty much good to not so good. And you know what I mean? Everybody kind of says that this roster is good. It's not a talented roster. And the only reason I'm not overreacting to the loss is because Xavier Worthy got hurt, and Rasheed Rice is suspended, but he'll be back. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm not overreacting to it, but yeah, I'm tired of people trying to convince me that this Chiefs roster is like good. They won Super Bowls with a roster. I'm like, I have no idea how that wins a Super Bowl.
Right, it's because of Patrick Mahomes. They're putting it all on him. They're
Yeah,
putting it all.
and that,
Uh,
you can't do that. You know what I'm
no,
saying? You
no.
can't do that.
Well, that's why I feel like they should have established that run a little bit more. Getting Isaiah Pacheco back into the into the game. I think the last time they won the Super Bowl was when he was fully healthy, right? And then last year he's out. They don't have that running game. They're leaning on the pass. Travis Kelce during the regular season was nowhere to be found. He had a decent solid game. I don't know if you put up his stats or not, but I thought he played well enough
Who, Pat?
for game.
Oh, hell
Travis
yeah.
Kelce, yeah, he played well enough
Oh,
week
hell
one.
yeah.
But you'll see as I think you'll see as the season goes along, he's not going to be able to make those plays consistently week in and week out.
I got you, and I feel you, and I agree. But he still it look every. It's funny because when he loses, it always looks like wow. Like if you just look at like his play, you be like they lost that game because he's making unbelievable throws on fourth down. Like he's really yeah. They need a better. They need to surround him with more talent.
Yeah, agreed.
Bad Chiefs GM. Okay, let's move on. You ain't gonna like this one, buddy. But your Dolphins came into Indy, man. Uh, I'm not even gonna go too big because you did. I should go in because you did bring up that I lost a bet. You brought that up, but you know what? I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna be the bigger man on this one. Uh, so the Colts won 33-8. So let's look at some stats. So Tua, he was 14 and 23 for 114 yards, one touchdown, and two picks. Zach Wilson even got into the game. Devon Achan, he led y'all with rushing with 7 carries for 55 yards. There were no rushing touchdowns. Tyreek Hill had 4 receptions for 40 yards. He had no touchdowns, but Devon Achan did have 3 receptions for 20 yards and a tutty. Did y'all have any sacks or anything? Trying to give y'all something good. Y'all did have a sack. What you call it? Bradley Chubb had a sack. That's good for y'all. Hooray, hooray. Now let's get to the Colts. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was 22 of 29 for 272 yards and a touchdown. No picks. Don't make Daniel Jones look good.
Good. Good.
Okay. Okay. So Jonathan Taylor, he had 18 carries for 71 yards. No touchdowns. Daniel Jones also had 7 carries for 26 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Michael Pittman Jr. had 6 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown. And the rookie, Tyler Warren, first game, he had 7 receptions for 76 yards. So I'm going to just give you, if you want to talk a little bit more elaborately, go ahead, man. I just want you to know I'm
Hey
here
man.
for you.
Oh, oh, thank you for that. I don't think anybody wants to hear about this game. I think you just threw this on the fucking.
Our team played each other.
Yeah,
Our
yeah.
team,
That's the
listen, if
only
y'all
reason
had
why
won,
you threw
if
this
y'all
on.
had
Ain't
won,
nobody want to talk about the
listen, if
Colts
y'all had
Dolphins
won,
game.
I
All
would have
right,
still, I would have
nobody,
still,
no,
I would have still had
nobody
it on
wants,
there.
nobody wants to even talk about this game, including myself.
If y'all had won, I would have
Anyway,
threw it on there.
whenever it seems like whenever I'm breaking down a game, I'm going immediately to the quarterbacks
Mhm.
and Daniel Jones. It seems like, hey, if this is a hot take, this is a hot take, but hey, maybe it's a career resurgence year for him. Maybe it's like Geno Smith or Sam Darnold. Maybe this is the place he needs to be. I mean, the first 7 drives they came away with points. Is that Daniel Jones or is that the mess that Miami is currently? They need to fire the head coach. They need to get rid of Mike McDaniel. He's uh he's terrible if you ask me. Tua, there was a press conference. They asked Tua about why he turns the ball over in bunches.
Mhm.
I thought that was funny. He thought it was a wild comment, but it seems to be that way. I mean, when you turn the ball over and then the next drive you come out and you fumble the ball, the momentum completely shifts. And if Daniel Jones is putting up some sort of points each drive, like those first 7 drives where it was either a field goal or a touchdown, it's hard to gain momentum after that. So um, the play calling, I thought for Miami was trash. They need a rebuild now. They need to make some moves. They need to do something, or this season's going to be, you know, washed.
Yeah,
And,
so
and it might even be already by the looks of Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, right?
mhm.
So
Yeah, they're definitely yeah, the Bills got that division. That's done already. Week one,
Josh
that's
Allen
done.
is a freak.
Um, so my comments for the Dolphins is not even really for this year. It's more or less like last year and the year before that when you guys looked like really good. I was always saying to you, I said I never really liked the construction of your roster. I really don't like rosters that are wide receiver heavy, where you got to pay like 2 wide receivers to be, on there, like basically number one wide receiver money there, because it breaks down the rest of your roster. You know what I mean? The reason why I feel like we won is because, or it's predictable. It was more predictable with the Dolphins, is because in the trenches, you guys don't have anything there. Like everything was always outside. The cornerbacks, the wide receivers. You know what I mean? that's where the heavy investment was, and I'm like, you can't win in the NFL without a defensive line and an offensive line. You just can't. So that was that. But I do remember you trying to tell me or trying to convince me that Tua was like a top five quarterback and he was like the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. And I
I
remember him.
still hold on now. I still
You did
believe
say
that.
that.
I
You
still
told me that.
believe that. I didn't say he was a top five. I might not have said the top five thing. I said he was the most accurate quarterback in the NFL.
Whatever it out of the two, whatever it was, it wasn't correct.
I still think he is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL.
I think you overpaid for your quarterback, is what I
I
think.
believe we did as well, and I think
Um,
he does not excel in situations where it comes down to the wire. He can't win games in the NFL. Um,
mhm,
he
mhm.
turns the ball over too much, but hey, I still think he's an accurate quarterback. That's a completely different conversation.
You're basically saying oxymoron. You're saying like jumbo shrimp right now. Okay, so
I don't
go.
understand. You can be an accurate quarterback and still be trash.
But you're not accurate when I need you to be accurate when the clutch and down the stretch. Now all of a sudden you just can't complete an accurate pass.
That's a different that's a different
But you said the most,
that,
so that means in both situations that you're accurate. So if in one of those situations you're not accurate at all, then you can't be the most. You see where I'm coming from with this now, Nick?
not saying he's not accurate in those situations. I'm saying he don't have the balls to get through those situations and win the game. He don't have that. What was I can't find that word I'm looking for, but he don't have it. He don't have it in those fourth quarter. Come down to the wire, last drive of the game,
Okay,
winning drive.
fair,
Don't have that.
fair. So what I'm saying, so moving on to what I want to say about the Colts. The Colts are going to make the playoffs this year. They're going to be one of the surprise teams. They're going to be in the playoffs. And actually, that's more of what I don't want to happen, if it makes any sense at all. I want us to be great, but our roster is a good roster. You know what I mean? It's a very good, deep roster. The problem is, I don't know if our, I don't know if our defensive end can get 15 sacks. I really don't have that answer right this second. And I don't know if our I don't think I think Daniel Jones has a ceiling. You know what I mean? And that ceiling, if he in the playoffs, is going to be low. So do I think he's going to have like a Geno Smith, Sam Darnold resurgent year? I do. It's going to present a problem though, because then he's going to think he can get paid like a top quarterback, and no, he still is Daniel Jones. Okay,
Right. And look what happened to Sam Darnold last year, right? As soon as he got into the playoffs, he became Sam Darnold again.
yeah, I'd much rather have the top quarterback in this upcoming draft. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I thought the Colts would make the playoffs last year. I thought they had a good enough roster, but the quarterback held them back. So Daniel Jones, game manager, he can get them there, but I don't think he'll get them anywhere past the first round.
No, I don't. I agree. I agree. See what happens when we agree, man. See, I told you, I listen. It's just I gotta hear a good point. All right, moving on. Who did I say we were going to take on here? Did I say the Packers Lions? I don't think I said Packers Lions.
The Ravens, Bills.
Ravens Bills. Let's do the Ravens and the Bills. Well, do you have anything I know it wasn't on the thing, but do you have anything for the Packers Lions?
No,
Okay.
no. I, I think the Packers look good. They came out strong. Lions, can they score without Ben Johnson as the offense coordinator? That's what everybody's talking about.
Well, they were playing. Remember, they were replacing their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. So I don't think people understand how hard of a thing that is to do. First of all,
Big. It's big.
um, first of all, when you lose one of the two, the culture completely changes. You know what I mean? On anything, like you as a quarterback, when anything's going wrong, like you don't talk to the head coach, you talk to the offensive coordinator about fixing what the problem is. That's not a new person. And defensively, it's the same thing. These checks, the vision. If you're running a man defense or you're running a cover three defense or a cover two defense, this is all changes that are going to happen. So it's hard to maintain the same level of success if you don't even have the same coordinators.
I think the Lions have enough talent though. They'll be okay. I
I
just
think
thought
they'll be okay too. I think they have to adjust to having like the Packers have continuity in their staff. You know what I
correct.
mean? The only addition was Michael Parsons, and he can have time to figure himself out. You know what I mean? Everybody else is back, so
Yeah. Hmm.
that's that. Um, so yes, Buffalo won a really good game. They won 41-40, and that looked over in the fourth quarter too. The Ravens were up like 40-25, I think it was, but either way, saying the losing team first. Lamar Jackson, he was 14-19 for 209 yards, two touchdowns, no picks. Derrick Henry had 18 carries, 169 yards, and two touchdowns. And Lamar Jackson had 6 carries for 70 yards and a rushing touchdown. This does not sound like they lost, does it? Zay Flowers had 7 receptions for 143 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins had 2 receptions for 35 yards and a touchdown. Wow, that does not sound like they lost. That's crazy. Josh Allen was 33 of 46 for 394 yards, two touchdowns, and no picks. Jesus. Uh, James Cook, he was 13 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown, and Josh Allen had 14 carries for 30 yards and two touchdowns. Keon Coleman led them with 8 receptions for 112 yards and a touchdown. Khalil Shakir has he had 6 receptions for 64 yards, and Dalton Kincaid had also a receiving touchdown. Yo, makes sense of this game. This game that was the game of the year. I mean, already.
The best matchup in football, the Bills versus Ravens.
Yeah.
And if you bet this game and you didn't win any money, you're a moron because the stats were ridiculous. Every single guy got a touchdown. It seemed like, oh my Josh Allen, right? This guy's fucking amazing. He's he's
God,
make
salute to the guy.
everybody around him better. He's I would say the top leading MVP candidate right after week one. Seems like he's going to produce the same type of numbers that he did last year. He looked great, man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what else can you say? I think the Ravens offense looked well again. Defense might have some problems that they had last year. I think they blew a lot of leads in the fourth quarter last year as well. If I'm correct, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was an issue they had last year. Um,
I don't remember right now.
I can't remember off the top of my head either, but yeah, what a matchup, man. It's fun to watch. It was a great ending, and two quarterbacks who can put the team on their back, and then Derrick Henry, guys, I
Year
think the
nine.
reason why
Year
they call him,
nine.
yeah, I what a monster, dude. Uh, so yeah, not much more to say than just for me at least that this is the best matchup in football, and they produced a hell of a game, and it was fun to watch.
Well, I want to start by saying I look forward to when they see each other in the playoffs
Oh,
again.
I hope they
I
see each
look
other in the playoffs
forward
again.
to that. That's happening. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's gonna happen. Um, now I don't think you should overreact to the Ravens losing.
Okay.
Um, and I kind of do think you should react a little bit more to Buffalo winning this game. It's about how they won the game. You know, they were down and out against that team. You know what I mean? So the fact that they had that in their tank, you know what I mean? That's incredible. Um, I do worry, like I said, long term, I worry about the Bills having to use Josh Allen to carry them all the time. I don't like that. I don't like the Ravens do that with Lamar Jackson either. But I kind of Josh Allen takes a little bit more hits. You know what I mean? He's just a bigger guy. He hits people, so that always worries me. The thing about the Ravens that always that always I don't want to say scared me about this season because when you look at their cornerbacks, they got the best cornerback group in the NFL. That's not a question. They don't have four like if they line up four defensive linemen, they don't have a guy that can go get a sack. Period. I expect them to blitz a whole hell of a lot this year. What does that look like? And even if they do that, are those cornerbacks able for 17 weeks plus 5 playoff games? Was it 4 playoff game? 4 playoff games. Sorry. Are they able to do that throughout the playoffs? You know what I mean? That's my question. That pass rush, I think they'll blitz, and it may not matter this year for them. It may not matter. but not having two premier pass rushers that I can just send four guys at you and just go get it. Usually, except for very few exceptions, Super Bowl winning teams have that.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I think I did not know they had one of the best cornerbacks in the league as a
Yeah,
group.
their cornerbacks room. Oh hell yeah.
Good.
Um, I'll tell you exactly what it
Didn't look
is.
like it week one.
You got that right. um, I'll tell you what their cornerbacks are right now. Give me 1 second. So their cornerbacks are first of all, Kyle Hamilton is their safety. They got Marlon Humphrey, who is one of the top four cornerbacks. They got Jair Alexander from the Packers.
Mm, that's solid.
Yeah, and I feel like they had another one, but either way, having Jair Alexander and Marlon Humphrey to take your number one and number two cornerback is a task. And then they got the best safety in the game too.
Well, I guess if if their offense is going to be scoring as quickly as they were in week one, that puts a lot of pressure on the defense as far as, like you said, their quarterbacks may be great, but if they're man to man coverage and out on the field every, 4 minutes that goes by that the offense is on, if they're scoring so quickly, it makes it tough to make stops anyway. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, much longer than 4 minutes, but you get what I'm
Okay.
saying.
You know what I think we can get through? So first of all, that was week one. That was the games we said we are gonna get through in week one. I think we can brush through in a couple minutes games to watch next week. So I want to talk about that real quick. Let's get that done. Then we can get through the next segment pretty fast. Games to watch next week. There's some good games next week.
Yeah,
Week
solid.
two. Commanders versus Packers. Right out the gate. Who
Mm.
you got in next week's games?
Packers, who's home? Packers.
The home team is the Packers.
I'd like to know the spread on that one. But yeah, I thought the Packers looked good enough. I, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I'd like to know the spread on that. I think the Commanders, you know,
How about this? If you give me these answers, I can find out the spread real quick. Keep talking.
yeah. So, Daniels looking just as good as he looked last year. Got some new weapons. Uh, who is Debo Samuel? I think he looked
Mhm.
solid. I think he's gonna have a pretty nice year. Uh, you know,
The Packers are favored by 3.5. It
Packers
opened that
three
way.
and a half.
So it opened. They were favored by 1.5. Now they're favored by 3.5.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I think the Packers pull this game out, but I think it's close. I think it's three at the most.
Yeah. So I
I
got
would
the Packers too.
even,
I got the Packers winning this.
yeah, I think especially if
Um.
they're home. I think
Yes.
they look good week one. I think they're a real contender this year too.
Hmm. They're my Super Bowl dark horse team. They're the dark horse team. I have questions about them, but they're my dark horse team. Um, Broncos Colts.
Broncos, Colts. Well, I guess we'll find out if the Colts are the real deal, won't we? We'll see if that offense is real or if it was just them playing Miami. Bo Nix, I think, might have a sophomore slump this year. We'll see how he does. Um, I thought he had a rough week one. We'll see if he can bounce back. Their defense is going to be the staple of the Bronco of their team anyway. So
The Broncos are favored by two or 2.5 in different books.
yeah, I think the Broncos win that game. I
Okay.
do. I think that unless the Colts offense is the real deal, Josh, if not Josh,
He just
uh
he just looks like Josh Allen.
nothing close to a Josh Allen.
He just looks like Josh Allen.
Yeah. But if he comes out
um,
and he plays well, again, who knows? Maybe they do,
nah, I'm
maybe
taking I'm taking I'm taking the Colts. We're being disrespected here. 2.5 point underdogs at home. No, stop this right now.
Way too hyped after week one. You guys
Yo,
beat the
listen,
Dolphins.
listen. When we're home, I
Way
don't
too.
like I said. In terms of Daniel Jones, it's more about this is fit for him. He can't throw the ball deep. We have route runners that short like it's a bunch of them on the field. Like he's gonna be fine.
Guarantee right here. You hear it from me now. Guarantee he has two turnovers in the game at least.
Okay. Okay.
At least two turnovers.
Okay.
Possibly
So
a pick six.
we're definitely going to talk about that on Sunday. Okay, we're definitely going to talk about that. Um, Super Bowl rematch: Eagles Chiefs.
Eagles Chiefs. Wow. Well, may see another pass heavy attack by the Chiefs, right? They might have to lean on that on Mahomes again. And I like to see Hurts passing game. I'd like to see him pass and get AJ. Like to see him get AJ and Devontae going this week. So, I'd like to see that from the Eagles because he did a lot of running last week. I didn't think he was finding his receivers well enough.
Mm-hmm.
See if he can get that established in week two. Who
So
am I taking? I'm taking the Eagles.
yeah, so I'm taking the Eagles too. It's they're only favored by 1 or 1.5 in certain books, but I think we're still looking at a 10-point game. I don't see where they close the gap. Are they going to lose 42 to what the hell did they have? You know what I mean? No. But I still
Well,
see a 10-point win for the Eagles. I don't
well,
see this as a good matchup for the
I'll tell
Chiefs.
you why. I'll tell you why that's so close. That line is because if if the Chiefs' offensive line can give Mahomes enough time, Mahomes can tear up that secondary.
Okay. Okay. So finishing it off, we got Houston and Tampa Bay. And Houston is favored by
I'm taking the Bucks on this one. I still haven't seen it from CJ Stroud. Again, back to the quarterbacks. But CJ Stroud, man, I thought it was a sophomore slump last year. And then to come out week one, I don't even think they put a touchdown on the board, did they?
no.
They had 9 points, right? Yeah, no touchdowns on the board. Joe Mixon still banged up. Don't know what's wrong with him. Uh, and they really relied heavily on that run game last year.
Well, they
So
got
now,
Nick Chubb. They do have Nick Chubb too.
yeah,
So
they got Nick Chubb. You know, uh, serviceable, but not the type of numbers that Joe Mixon was putting up last year.
right.
You
So
know,
just to quickly because we got to quickly finish this one up.
okay.
I'm gonna go with the Texans on this one, man. Listen, you gotta keep in mind the Bucks are in the NFC South, okay? However, whatever you think about it, all the teams in the NFC South are bad, okay? They're all bad, okay? If there was another divisions, none of them would be in the playoffs. They're all bad. So I think this is the Texans are actually getting lucky here to be playing, unless the Tampa Bay Bucks defensive line just controls this game. I'm not seeing where they're gonna win this game.
Well, if CJ Stroud can bounce back after week one,
Yes.
that's the only way they win this game.
Okay. Okay. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. And we're back. Okay. So we pretty much did most of the episode anyway, but I was curious, and you could have as many as you could think of. What were some of the surprises that you got from week one NFL season?
Well, let me hear yours first.
Okay.
Trying
So
to
you want to
think of
hear
one.
all of them, or you want to go one and then one and then one
Well,
and
let me hear your first one.
my first surprise was absolutely positively um the the Dallas Cowboys defensive line, man. Like they first of all, they not only look like the better unit in terms of the defensive lines, they were dominating the Eagles offensive line, and the Eagles are supposed to have the best offensive line in football. So yeah, that surprised the hell out of me. So that was my first surprise.
Okay. Okay. My first surprise, I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. Second year back from an Achilles injury, seemed to be moving well in the pocket. Think he put up 34 points against the Jets, which used to be a formidable defense. But yeah, Rodgers looked good. Maybe it was because he was playing against the Jets, but second year coming off that Achilles injury, seemed to be moving well, making some good passes, and with a Pittsburgh team that knows how to win, it could be dangerous moving forward.
I got another good one for you. I got a good one for you. The Tennessee Titans looked really good. Like they were going like if anybody watched the Broncos and the Titans game,
Mm.
you saw the Titans was right there with them. It looked a lot. He looked a lot closer than the 8 points. And 8 points is really only one score. That looked like they pulled that out at the end. Like the Tennessee Titans as a unit looked good, and I'm very curious to see what they're going to do the rest of the season. Is that a playoffs? No, but I'm very curious to see how well they match up with people throughout the year. Like what is I saw what they looked like against the Broncos, what they look like against some other teams.
I don't think Cam Ward's getting the recognition that a draft number one pick is usually gets. You know,
Hmm.
a quarterback that's drafted number one usually gets a ton of press, ton of media. I don't think Cam Ward is getting the respect that he deserves, and I'm looking forward to seeing his growth throughout this year because I think he's an amazing quarterback. I think he's great. I love the fact that his poise in the pocket reminds me of Tom Brady.
Hmm.
That in
Hmm.
mind.
In one game, that's fine. We'll just let's keep going.
Hey,
And
you played against the best defense in the league. Let's
yeah,
be real.
and when he was in high school, he ran the wing T offense. Okay, so
That's
you got to
right.
give him
That's
props for
right.
that. Okay,
That's
you got
right.
to give him props for that. Okay, that is some hard
Wing
shit to do. Okay,
wing T
and look good
offense.
and look
My
good.
Hurk Miami Hurricanes. You know, that's my man. He's drafted in all my fantasy leagues. He's gonna be all right. I was hoping he would be able to pull that one out because then he'd start getting some talk. But that's a tough defense to come out to in week one.
Okay, all right. Give me your next one. Go ahead. Go.
All right, next surprise. Let's see here. I'm kind of just going through the list, so I wasn't prepared for any of this. But I'd say the Lions' offense. To only put up 13 points seems like it's that offense. It's going to take them some time to get it together with a new offensive coordinator. But from last year, the way they looked with all their trick plays, the hook and ladders,
Hmm.
you know, the pitchbacks, yeah, the running back, the talent that they have on that offense, I felt like they should have looked a little bit better. Maybe they'll get it together, but it was a surprise to me to see them only put up 13 points in week one.
Yes, like I said, I would have been surprised with it. I just saw a huge step back for them. I didn't think that. I still don't think they're going to miss the playoffs, but I saw a huge step back. Hey, listen, man, Jordan Love might be the MVP of the league this year too. You know what I mean? Don't take him out of that MVP discussion too. Um, so transparently, I was surprised when I looked at Daniel Jones.
Oh,
I know that I mean we had 9 scoring drives consecutively. You know,
no,
like that's not a Daniel Jones thing.
I
I
think it
don't care.
was. I think it was seven. I think
It
it
was
was
a
seven.
7. I'm
Yeah,
putting a little bit
slow
more on
down.
it. It felt
Yeah,
like
yeah,
9. You know, it felt like 15 because I'm shocked that he did anything like that. But like, no, I'm being serious. I do think this is a suitable um situation for him. I do think that, but even in that situation, I'm not confident in what he could or come into the season what he can do. So I want to see what else I want to see what this looks like. But I was pleasantly surprised, but I was shocked that he looked as good as he. I mean, he was efficient. You know what I mean? Like
Hey, look what who's your head coach? What's his name again?
Shane Steichen.
Mistaken. Wasn't he the Eagles offensive coordinator when
He
Nick
fixed.
Foles
He
won
fit.
the Super Bowl?
He's attributed to fixing Jalen Hurts.
Go and took Nick Foles to a Super Bowl, correct?
I don't
I
think that
believe
was
so.
Steichen. I don't think that was
No,
Steichen. I don't think that was
no,
Steichen.
maybe not. Anyway, yeah, I mean, offense looked good.
I mean, but all I mean, with that said, I mean, Brian Daboll was attributed to fixing Josh Allen. I mean, look at the Giants. So okay, did
Yeah,
you have any more of these surprises?
no, not off the top of my head, man. I was just looking through them. What else you got? You got anything else?
Um,
The only other thing would be CJ Stroud. I really thought he would. I thought he
yeah,
would have.
that was
Thought it was a sophomore slump last year, man. You know the way he came out his rookie year, and then only put up, did not put up any points week one.
but
It looked
so the only thing about that game is also the Rams is also the NFC is deep this year. The Rams is also like if the Rams won the Super Bowl this year, that would not be the craziest thing that ever happened. Okay, so they could have just ran into the best team in football. The Rams are really good though. The Rams, they're going to be listen to me, of the best four teams in the NFC, the Rams will be one of them. I don't know where exactly they'll fall right at the moment, but they're going to be one of the best four teams in the NFC. That I know.
I don't know if I can argue with you on that one. I do like Puka Nakua, man. He's sharp, and you know how that offense, the
Mhm.
quarterback. I can't even think right now. It's so fucking late, man. You and these late fucking.
I have to, man. This is
Uh,
life. This is life. When you're an
can't,
entrepreneur,
can't even think, I
when
can't
you
even
own your
think.
own stuff, just listen. These late nights turn into when your work hours, man.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I couldn't even think of Matthew Stafford's name for a minute there.
Be like, Randall Cunningham looked great on the Flames. Like he don't play for no damn
Randall
Rams.
Cunningham really knows how to find one receiver and make him look great, and that's him and Puka Nakua all
All
day
right,
long.
cool. We gonna wrap it up. We got everything that we needed.
Oh, you want to make a bet?
What's the bet? Tell me.
I don't know. I don't know. What do we got? We got anything good?
Well, you told me that Daniel Jones was going to turn the ball over twice. Are we
Ah, there's a good bet. What do you think?
twice? I don't listen. All
Twice.
right, would you rather bet on the game? Because
No.
he's not. I don't think he's gonna turn the ball over twice.
Well, there it is then. If you don't think he's going to turn the ball over twice, and I say he's going to turn the ball over twice, there's our twenty
All right,
dollar bet.
so we do it $20 again.
$20. There it is.
$20. Okay. $20 on it, and I'm showing it. Okay, when I get it this time, I'm showing it. Okay, you heard it here first.
All right. And we'll
All
put
right,
Daniel Jones is still Daniel Jones when he turns it over twice.
twice. Okay, okay, fair. Because I tell you this, I tell you this. He better not. He better look better than. See now I can't even think of the guys. The Cam Ward. He better look better than Cam Ward in his first game as a rookie against that defense. He better look better than him. Okay, that's all I'm saying. He better not look worse than him. Okay.
See, we'll see how he looks.
He better not look
The
worse than.
turnovers, at least.
So, with that said, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Of course, you can always catch the full episodes on Spotify and YouTube. And man, you been keeping up with the reels, man, on Instagram? Yeah, we are
Yeah,
going
yeah, I see the reels.
crazy. Yeah, man, we going crazy. We had like 900 likes the last reel that we put out. With that said, yeah, of course, you can catch the reels on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We all over the place. Nick, man, you came through. You laid some heat down. You did your thing, brother. You did your thing today, brother. And with that said, I
For having
still
me,
got
man.
to tell you, cause you don't know football. Once again, I'm your boy Reek. Just like Martin said, I'm gonna see you when I see you. Peace.